Chosen one, something holy entered today. It may shock you. Something sacred, something divine, something unseen but undeniable has just stepped into the atmosphere. You may not have heard the sound, but your spirit picked it up. You may not have seen it with your physical eyes, but deep down, your soul felt the shift. Today is not like yesterday. And after this moment, your life will never be the same again. There has been an arrival. Something holy entered your world, and it came carrying answers, alignment, and activation. Chosen one, this moment has been marked in heaven since the beginning, and you're standing in it right now. Watch this video until the very end, because what is being revealed to you in this hour is sacred. And write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments to unlock the vibration of manifestation. When we align our collective energy through intention, we energize the universe with the power of unity, and the holy force now present moves faster on our behalf. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. What entered today isn't something you can explain in ordinary terms. It didn't come with noise, yet it carries more power than a storm. It didn't arrive with announcement, yet its arrival changes destinies. Something holy has stepped into your atmosphere, and it came looking for the ones marked, the ones chosen, the ones carrying a silent promise deep in their bones. Yes, you. You may have felt it as a quiet stirring in your spirit, or maybe a strange peace that didn't make sense given your current situation. Perhaps your body felt a sudden chill, a warmth, or even a deep sigh you didn't expect. These weren't random. They were signs of arrival. They were confirmations that the Holy Presence is here, not just around you, but for you. What's different about this holy arrival is that it wasn't scheduled by man. It wasn't summoned by effort or planning. This was a divine appointment. Heaven decided today was the day to touch earth in a new way, and your name was already on the list of contact. You've been crying out, maybe not even with words, but your spirit has been calling for something higher. And today, something higher responded. This presence doesn't just visit, it transforms. This holy presence enters to change things, to correct the chaos, to reorder the confusion, to calm the questions that have haunted you silently. And here's the powerful truth. It didn't enter just to observe. It entered to act. You are not being observed from a distance anymore. Something sacred is now working within your life's very fabric, unraveling what was tangled and rebuilding what was broken. There is a moment when heaven becomes tangible, when you can feel the unseen hands moving things in your favor, when you recognize that your delays, detours, and disappointments weren't signs of failure. They were the waiting room for this arrival. You've waited long, but you didn't wait in vain. Every tear was an offering. Every sleepless night was a seed. Every lonely decision was preparation. And now the holy force that governs purpose has stepped in to respond. You see, the world thinks it understands timing, but divine timing is not logical. It's sacred. It's unpredictable to the natural mind, but perfectly aligned to the eternal blueprint. Today, that blueprint unfolds. A layer is being pulled back. And for those who can perceive it, this is the moment where destiny turns its head and starts calling your name louder than your fears. This arrival is personal. It's not about crowds or stages or applause. It's about presence. The presence of what's holy. The presence of what's meant for you. The presence of what has waited for you to mature, to awaken, to prepare. It waited for you to become who you are now. because only this version of you could walk through the door that just opened. Do not take this lightly. If you felt unusually emotional today, if you had strange dreams last night, if you felt an urge to be still or to speak something out loud for no reason, these are indicators. The divine presence often speaks through subtlety. It whispers into our awareness, and the moment you acknowledge it, it grows louder. This holy arrival is not interested in impressing. It came to impact. You're going to notice things begin to shift around you with no human explanation. People who used to ignore you will begin to ask about you. Opportunities that once rejected you will reintroduce themselves. Money that was delayed will begin to flow. Because when something holy enters your atmosphere, it doesn't enter empty-handed. It brings restoration. It brings revelation. It brings reward. But here's what may shock you the most. This holy presence is not here temporarily. It didn't come to visit. It came to stay. You are stepping into a new reality where holiness walks with you daily. Not as a ritual, but as a rhythm. Not as religion, but as relationship. You are now in communion with something higher, something more intelligent, something more powerful than any earthly resistance. And from this day forward, you'll notice things don't shake you the same way anymore, because you're being stabilized by something sacred. The battles that tried to break you have lost their grip. The loneliness that tried to haunt you is melting in the presence of divine nearness. The fears that controlled you are being rewritten by a higher truth. Because when something holy enters, it breaks what doesn't belong. And if you've been feeling like certain things are falling away or being removed, it's not loss, it's cleansing. The presence of the holy is making room. Room for the real you to rise. Room for the divine agenda to unfold. Room for the promises made over your life to finally take shape. Don't be afraid of the changes happening right now. Don't panic when you feel people distancing or things closing. Something holy entered today to orchestrate a divine rearrangement. And though it may feel unsettling at first, it is actually your setup. You're being positioned for something major, something lasting. You've been prepared for this, even if you didn't know it. All those moments you felt rejected, training, all those times you walked alone, alignment, all those silent battles, endurance conditioning. The holy doesn't enter where there's no preparation. The fact that it arrived today means you're ready. Chosen one, your environment is being saturated with spiritual frequency. You may feel a weight in your chest or a warmth in your hands. That's energy. You may see repeating numbers, symbols, or signs. That's divine communication. You're not imagining this. This is not coincidence. This is a divine confirmation that what has entered today is both real and relevant. From this moment forward, you are walking with divine escort. You are no longer wandering. You are no longer wondering. You are now in the midst of manifestation. You are now in the realm of revelation, and you are now in the care of something holy that will not leave you where it found you. The moment something holy enters, the atmosphere is no longer neutral. It is charged, saturated, activated. It begins responding to the one who is chosen, the one who has walked through fire without smelling like smoke, the one who has endured wilderness seasons without collapsing. That one is you. And now, every force that was assigned to delay you is being interrupted by what entered today. The holy overrides the hindrance. The sacred cancels the schemes. The divine interrupts the delay. From this moment, your days are no longer ordinary. Because something extraordinary is walking with you. You've noticed the subtle pull toward silence lately. Not isolation, but sacred stillness. That's not random. It's divine preparation. The holy is not noisy. It's intentional. When heaven wants to move, it often silences the noise before it reveals the glory. And if you've felt like the crowd around you is growing smaller, or the conversations that used to excite you now feel hollow, it's because something holy is detoxing your atmosphere from distraction. Your environment is being purified to receive power. This is a holy setup, and you've been chosen to walk through it. Do not misinterpret your current stillness as inactivity. In the Spirit, there is movement. There is construction. Heaven is building behind the veil of your current quiet. What feels like a delay is actually divine assembly. The players are being positioned. The opportunities are being realigned. The protection around you is being reinforced. You're not just moving forward. You're about to move into something that's been kept hidden until now. There's something powerful happening in the unseen, and though your natural eyes may not see it yet, your inner knowing does. The inner radar of your spirit has been alert. It has felt the thrum of energy shifting in your favor. It has recognized the holy frequency entering your field. And it has been trying to whisper it to your conscious mind. Something holy is here now. You don't need to figure out every detail. You just need to become still enough to receive. Because what is holy cannot be earned. It can only be received. You've gone through too much to stay where you are. The presence that entered didn't come to admire you. It came to elevate you. It came to pull you into alignment with the version of yourself that only heaven has seen. The strongest version, the healed version, the wildly blessed, undeniable, unstoppable version. That version is not far. It's here. In fact, it's emerging now. When something holy enters, it activates the true identity of the chosen. It awakens ancient memory in the soul. It reminds you who you were before pain tried to rename you, before trauma tried to define you, before doubt tried to erase your calling. This presence is resurrecting your divine identity, and the world will soon witness what heaven has always known. You are chosen for more. Even your body has been responding. The fatigue, the tension in your back, the restlessness. That's not just stress. That's spiritual shifting. Your physical self is trying to keep up with your spiritual expansion. You're not losing energy. You're being rewired. You're not breaking down. You're being rebuilt. You're not confused. You're being recalibrated. Your system is adjusting to carry what is holy. You're being formatted for favor. Your mind is shifting too. Ideas that used to make sense no longer resonate. Goals that were once urgent now feel irrelevant. People who had power over your thoughts are being gently released. Why? Because the holy doesn't share space with low-frequency patterns. When something holy enters, it breaks the illusion of limitation. It tears down false beliefs. It reveals the real. And it aligns you with truth that cannot be shaken. This is the beginning of divine instruction. You'll start receiving ideas that seem too bold for your past self, but just right for your true self. You'll be prompted to take steps that feel bigger than your current capacity, but perfect for your next chapter. That's the work of what entered. The holy never comes without an assignment. And its assignment now is to unlock the plan inside you that has been waiting for years to be birthed. This moment may shock you, not because you didn't hope for it, but because it came so suddenly. But that's how divine moments work. They come when the world least expects, but exactly when the soul is ready. They show up in plain moments and turn them into portals of transformation. That's what today is. A portal, a sacred gateway, a holy opening. And you're standing at the edge of it. You're not here by accident. Something led you to this point, and what entered today is confirmation that you are seen, known, and chosen, not just in theory, but in divine reality. Your name has been called in places your feet haven't touched yet. And now, what's holy is preparing to walk you into those places. You are about to enter environments where only the called can thrive. You are about to sit in spaces where favor follows you without you needing to strive. You are about to witness a version of life that no one thought you'd live, but heaven did. And the reason you're not going to miss it this time is because what entered today won't let you. It came to guide. It came to open. It came to protect. It came to reveal. You'll notice it in how decisions come easier now. You'll sense it in how closed doors suddenly open or become irrelevant. You'll feel it in how aligned you are with what's meant for you. Because when something holy enters, confusion lifts, chaos dies down, and clarity becomes your new atmosphere. You are entering a divine flow, the type of flow that cannot be replicated, the type of flow that causes others to wonder, how did this happen so fast? But you'll know, it wasn't fast, it was sacred, and it was decided long ago. Now it's simply unfolding. There's something you need to understand now more than ever. This holy arrival was not random. It was not a coincidence. It was the signal of a shift that has been waiting in divine stillness, watching your steps, observing your heart, and discerning your readiness. And now, you've crossed into a space where you can no longer be overlooked. Not spiritually, not energetically, not by the heavens, not by destiny. This holy force came because your name was whispered in the sacred places. Because your story is no longer one of survival, it's one of divine emergence. The invisible hand of the sacred has touched your timeline, and every moment from now on will carry supernatural precision. Things are going to feel aligned. Conversations will feel divinely timed. Encounters will feel like destiny unfolding. You'll begin to recognize this holy presence in the most subtle of ways. In the quiet voice that tells you, "Go now." In the sudden impulse to speak something you've never said before. In the divine interruption of your routine that redirects you. You won't always understand it in the moment, but you'll learn to trust it. Because what entered is here to lead you, not confuse you. And when the holy leads, it never leads you backwards. You've come too far to go back. You've grown too much to shrink again. And you've waited too long to settle for less. This holy energy is about elevation, not just in status, but in spirit. It's lifting your mindset. It's shifting your posture. It's turning your silence into influence and your pain into power. What entered is here to crown you with clarity, to robe you in confidence, to anoint you with unexplainable grace. You'll soon notice that people begin to respond to you differently. They won't be able to explain why, but something about your presence will feel heavier, in the best way. Because when something holy rests on you, it amplifies everything around you. People will begin to say things like, "You feel different," or "Something about you changed." Don't be surprised. That's the energy of elevation. It's the spiritual announcement of your transformation. But don't expect everyone to be comfortable with your rise. Some people were only assigned to the previous version of you. They were only meant to walk with you up to the threshold, not through the door. And when the holy enters, it not only lifts, it separates. This may be painful, but it's divine. It's protection, not punishment. It's preservation of what's pure. Some relationships will dissolve. Some circles will shift. Some plans will be paused. And it's all a part of the holy transition. The sacred doesn't operate on human emotion. It operates on eternal design. It knows who can go with you. It knows who secretly doesn't believe in you. It knows who's only staying connected out of familiarity, not faith. And because this moment is too precious to be contaminated, the holy is cleaning house. You'll thank it later. Because what's coming next requires undivided agreement between your soul and your surroundings. What's about to unlock needs a clear channel. No static, no resistance, just alignment. You're being refined, not rejected. You're being pruned, not punished. Because the fruit you're about to produce cannot grow in polluted ground. You're in sacred ground now. And that requires a new version of you. A version that doesn't second-guess every nudge from within. A version that doesn't apologize for being divinely guided. A version that understands. When something holy enters, obedience is no longer optional. It's vital. The instructions will become sharper. You'll be prompted to make bold moves. You'll be asked to trust what you cannot trace. This is all part of the recalibration that comes when heaven intervenes. You're not being led in circles anymore. You're being led forward. You're not repeating patterns. You're breaking them. And you're not wandering in the wilderness. You're being directed into divine territory. This holy presence is about to show you parts of yourself that you buried. Parts that were dulled by disappointment. Parts that were silenced by shame. Parts that were forgotten because life got too loud. But now, life has been hushed, and the holy is speaking, and it's calling those parts back to life. Your creativity, your spiritual authority, your confidence, your joy, they're all being resurrected. What entered today came to awaken, to stir what had fallen asleep, to remind you that even when you felt forgotten, you were still favored. Even when nothing seemed to move on the outside, the holy was working underneath. It was never denial, it was divine development. You are now stepping into an era where the sacred becomes visible, where you don't just feel the holy, you see its fingerprints in your daily life.